Most people over 70 think they're doing the right thing by walking every day. But what if the very thing you believe is helping you stay young is quietly making your body age faster? That's what happened to Frank. Frank, at 76, walked religiously every morning, 2 miles around the neighborhood, rain or shine. People said, "You're in great shape for your age." He believed them, until one morning he lost his balance stepping off a curb. No injury, but something changed. Why did that happen? He asked himself. I walk every day. That question led him to a startling realization. Walking alone wasn't enough anymore. Why walking isn't the whole answer after 70. Walking is good. It keeps your legs moving and your heart beating. But after 70, your body starts needing more than just steps. More support, more challenge, more protection. Doctors now emphasize this. Walking by itself doesn't build the strength, balance, or flexibility your aging body truly needs. In fact, it may mask problems that sneak up silently, until one day they show up in the form of a fall, chronic joint pain, or sudden weakness. Let's walk through what your body really needs after 70. 5 powerful shifts that can help you stay stronger, steadier, and more independent for much longer than you think. Stay with me until the end. The 5th insight may be the one thing you're completely overlooking, and it could make all the difference. 1. Build strength, not just steps. Margaret had always taken pride in her morning walks. At 73, she rarely missed a day. The fresh air, the rhythm of her steps, the feeling of keeping herself moving, it all felt like a small victory against time. But one morning, something changed. As she tried to open a simple jar of pickles in her kitchen, her hand trembled. The lid wouldn't budge. Her confidence did. Is this just what getting older feels like? She asked her doctor. But the answer surprised her. No, it wasn't just age. It was muscle loss. You see, as we grow older, we naturally lose muscle mass, unless we actively work to keep it. Walking keeps us moving, yes, but it doesn't build strength. And without strength, everyday tasks can become harder than they need to be. Margaret decided to do something about it. No gym, no heavy weights. She started simple, lifting canned goods from her pantry, doing light squats by her sink, and practicing standing up from her chair without using her hands. Every day, just a few minutes. 2 weeks later, something shifted. Her arms felt steadier, her legs firmer. More than that, she felt capable again, in control of her body, not the other way around. Try this. Sit in a sturdy chair and try standing up without using your hands. If it's tough, that's your body gently telling you it's time to build strength. The good news? You can, even now. 2. Train balance like your future depends on it, because it does. Carlos loved his garden. At 78, tending to his roses and walking along the stone path out back gave his days rhythm and joy. But one afternoon, he tripped over a hose and hit the ground hard. I didn't see it, he said, but deep down he knew it wasn't just the hose. It was his balance. After 70, many of us begin to lose the subtle coordination that keeps us steady. And walking alone doesn't train balance. In fact, it can give a false sense of confidence until a stumble becomes a serious fall. Balance is like a forgotten friend until you need it. And by the time you do, it might be too late. Carlos didn't wait. He began doing small balance exercises every morning, standing on one foot while brushing his teeth, walking heel to toe along his hallway, and shifting his weight from side to side. Just a few minutes. Just enough to wake up the stabilizing muscles in his ankles, hips, and core. Weeks later, he noticed something different. He moved through his garden with ease again. He no longer feared a misstep. His body wasn't just more stable. His confidence had returned. Try this. Stand on one foot for 10 seconds near a wall or a sturdy chair. Feeling wobbly? That's your sign. Start now, before a small trip becomes something much bigger. 3. Protect your flexibility or lose it bit by bit. Linda was 75 when it happened. Just another quiet morning in her neighborhood. She got in her car to head to the grocery store. But as she looked over her shoulder to back out of the driveway, something felt off. Her neck wouldn't turn, not all the way. Her shoulders felt stiff, and a dull, ache tugged at her back. She paused. When did that become so hard? She sat in her car, puzzled. When did I become so tight? She whispered to herself. There had been no fall, no injury, just time slowly taking its toll. She had always believed walking every day was enough to stay active. But no one had told her that walking alone doesn't stretch your spine or open up your shoulders. It doesn't twist, bend, or reach the way life sometimes demands. And the truth is, stiffness doesn't come all at once. It creeps in slowly, a little at a time, until one day, turning your head becomes a chore. Reaching for a glass overhead is uncomfortable. Putting on socks feels like a stretch too far. And before you know it, your independence begins to slip away along with your comfort. But Linda decided she wouldn't let that happen. She started small. Every morning, before the coffee was even ready, she did slow neck turns, gentle toe touches from her chair, simple ankle rolls while seated. At first, it didn't feel like much, she admitted. But within a month, I could breathe again. I could move again. Her story is a reminder. Flexibility isn't about becoming an athlete. It's about being able to dress yourself, to reach for a jar on the top shelf, to turn and smile at someone calling your name. Try this. Turn your head slowly to the left, then to the right. Do you feel any tightness? That's your body asking for movement. Not hard, painful effort, but consistent, gentle attention. Move it more often. Move it more fully. You might be surprised how much better you feel. 4. Strengthen your core, so your spine doesn't carry the whole load. John, now 79, had a quiet realization one day while brushing his teeth. He caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror, his shoulders hunched forward, his head slightly bowed, a faint but steady ache in his lower back. He sighed and called it the shrink. I walk every single day, he thought. Why do I still feel like I'm collapsing in on myself? It wasn't that he wasn't active, but walking doesn't do it all. His core, the muscles that support the middle of the body, had quietly weakened. And as it did, his posture followed, leaving his spine to carry more weight than it should. That's the thing about aging. It doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just whispers, a little ache here, a little slump there. But over time, those whispers grow louder. John didn't chase a six-pack or aim for crunches on the floor. He just made a few small changes to give his core a chance to support him. He began standing against a wall once a day, checking if his head, shoulders, hips, and heels could all touch it. A quiet posture check. He practiced tightening his belly muscles while sitting down, holding the squeeze for a few seconds. And he added slow, seated, twisting stretches to wake up the muscles around his middle. It didn't take long. Within a few weeks, his back stopped complaining. He stood a little taller. Breathing came easier. And best of all, he felt like he was reclaiming his strength, not with noise or big gestures, but with quiet, daily care. Try this. Stand with your back against a wall. Can your heels, hips, shoulders, and head all make contact? If not, your posture may be slipping, and your spine is working harder than it should. A stronger core means less strain, less pain, and more freedom in how you move. 5. Choose kind movements, not just hard ones. Betty was 77 when she started noticing something wasn't quite right. For years, she loved her early morning walks. That quiet time before the world got busy. The fresh air, the steady rhythm of her steps, the familiar faces she passed along the way. Walking gave her a sense of peace, a way to start her day on her own terms. But then, slowly, her knees began to ache. At first, she brushed it off. Maybe I'm just getting old, she thought. Like so many of us do. She tried to ignore it, pushed through the discomfort, told herself it was just stiffness. But the pain didn't go away. In fact, it got worse. Climbing stairs became harder. Getting out of chairs took more effort. And her walks, once a source of joy, became something she quietly dreaded. It wasn't until she spoke with her physical therapist that something finally clicked. The problem wasn't her age. It was joint overload. Walking, as gentle as it seems, is a repetitive motion. And if the muscles around your knees, hips, and ankles aren't strong enough to support that motion, your joints take the brunt of it, day after day. Over time, they wear down. They get inflamed. They hurt. Betty didn't need to walk more. She needed to move differently. So she made a small change. She swapped 2 of her weekly walks for something new: chair yoga, water exercises at the local pool, and a few gentle sessions on a stationary bike. At first, it felt unfamiliar, slower, maybe even a little odd. But within a month, something surprising happened. Her knees stopped aching. Her walks started to feel good again. She hadn't quit moving. She had simply started moving more kindly. Sit in a chair. Now slowly stand up. How do your knees feel? Do they move smoothly? Or do they feel stiff, stuck, or sore? That small moment can tell you a lot about your joint health, and whether it might be time to trade harder exercise for gentler, smarter movement. After 70, the goal isn't just to move. It's to move well, to protect the body that carries you, to train it in all the ways that matter: strength, balance, flexibility, posture, and joint care. Frank, Margaret, Carlos, Linda, John, Betty, they all made small changes that gave them big returns. So can you. No gym needed, no special gear, just a few minutes a day, and the willingness to listen to what your body's quietly asking for. So here's the real question. Which of these 5 areas will you start working on this week? Tell us in the comments below. Your story might be the one that inspires someone else to move just a little better tomorrow. If you found this helpful, please like and share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe. Your health journey is just getting started.